Premier Francois Legault is no stranger to ruffling Alberta's feathers, and more times than not, he's had us all saying, "What the duck," when he's made a statement towards us. Statements like pipelines aren't socially acceptable in Quebec and that our dirty oil was even less acceptable while he was pumping raw sewage into the St. Lawrence River. Generally, Quebec's stance on Alberta smacks of arrogance, but now we can add another word, a word Francois Legault uses himself to describe his province: entitled. He talks about what his province is entitled to. It's that system that infuriates Albertans, equalization, where we have provinces funnel billions of dollars to these have-not provinces like Quebec. Alberta has contributed over $620 billion into equalization since 1957, which is around $20 billion a year, even when we've had record revenue losses. This year, Quebec received $13.1 billion in equalization, the biggest amount of all the provinces. To say the system is flawed would be an understatement, especially since Quebec refuses to develop its own resources, and their hydro, which brought in over $14 billion in revenue for the province, is exempt from the formula. It's hard not to look at the system and see that it's rigged to favor Quebec. It always has been, and Alberta is sick and tired of it, especially since we can't get what we desperately need to keep the lights on in Canada: pipelines. Jason Kenney made an announcement that if we can't get pipelines built and repeal bills C-48 and C-69, he is prepared to hold a referendum in October 2021 on equalization, or Section 36 of the Constitutional Act. His message was very clear. If you want to accept Alberta cash, then you need to let us develop Alberta oil and gas. But where I disagreed with Kenney was when he said that Albertans are proud to share our wealth. That may have been true in the past, but it doesn't apply today. Albertans feel like the milking cow of Canada, and we're all tapped out. Now, if you thought Quebec and its premier would say, "Okay, that's probably fair," oh, who am I kidding? Quebec is not about to let $20 billion a year go without a fight. Remember, Francois Legault said his province is entitled to that because, well, they're Quebec. And like an entitled teenager, Legault had a tantrum over the prospect of not getting his way, calling Kenney a separatist, which he's not, and that equalization has been part of our Constitution since the very first day of Canada. Wrong. Here's a little history lesson. Equalization started in Canada in 1982, not July 1st, 1867, and when it was put into the Constitution, Quebec refused to sign it, even though the whole system was designed just to keep Quebec happy. And since Quebec gets the biggest piece of the equalization pie, we all know that they will never agree to overhauling the unfair system. But contrary to what Francois Legault believes, that system can be changed because no numbers or percentages are specified in the Equalization Act. Now, if Legault's tantrum didn't have you frustrated, I went and checked out his Twitter. Now, my French is a little bit rusty, but I saw spending announcement after spending announcement, new programs and budget surpluses, mostly paid for by equalization. No wonder Albertans are sick and tired of equalization. We can't even get our resources to new markets, and Quebec is rolling in our dough. But the new message is really clear. You want our oil and gas cash? You'd better start letting those pipelines pass. One thing is certain for Canada's entitled teenager: it's never going to be enough for them. And heaven forbid Alberta dare to threaten to take away Quebec's $20 billion a year allowance. And that's what makes Quebec Premier Francois Legault my Ducker of the Week.